Good evening, Facebook followers, and good evening, Facebook friends. Good evening, Facebook followers, and good evening, Facebook friends, Facebook visitors, Facebook supporters. Good evening, YouTube subscribers. Good evening, YouTube visitors. Good evening, YouTube supporters. Hi, hello, my name is Pebbles, founder of Missing, Lost, and Trafficked, lead investigative reporter for Missing, Lost, and Trafficked. I thank you so very much for taking the time out of your busy schedules, your busy lives to tune in to this um, heartbreaking yet breaking news development um, regarding the disappearance of 24-year-old Felicia Marie Johnson. I want to give you all some time to tune in and some time to share this live stream. I am encouraging you to share this live stream with your family members and your friends, prospective pages that you manage, or groups that you are associated with at this time. And I thank you so very much for doing so. I thank you so very much for doing so. It's been more than 50 days since Felicia Marie Johnson of San Diego, California, was last seen in Houston, Texas. More than 50 days. And tonight, it's important that you know that murder charges have been filed in connection to the disappearance of Felicia Johnson. It's important that you know that a suspect is still at large. A suspect is still at large. And I'm going to show you the face of that suspect at this time. I want to show you the face of that suspect at this time. Police have identified a suspect in Johnson's murder as 28-year-old, and because it is very difficult for me to pronounce his name, I couldn't seem to figure out a good pronunciation tool. This name was just not coming up anywhere to help me to figure this out. I am going to spell his name, and throughout this update, I will simply refer to him as CN. Okay, so 28-year-old Chukwuebuka Nwobodo, who is already, or who has already been charged in the 232nd State District Court, but isn't in custody just yet. Okay, I want to show you or present another news article clipping. I believe has his name spelled, and I will be referring to him as CN. According to the Houston Police Department Homicide Section, detectives Johnson was reported missing from the Intercontinental Houston Medical Center Hotel in the 6700 block of Main Street on April 16th. The Houston Police Department investigation revealed Johnson left the hotel in a vehicle in the early morning hours on April 16th. It's uncertain if Johnson traveled to the CoverGirl's Gentleman Club about midnight the day of her disappearance. The detectives learned CN picked up Johnson from an apartment complex at 3233 Wynn Chase Boulevard and took her to his apartment at 14935 South Richmond Avenue, KHOU 11 reported. Investigators believe CN disposed of Johnson's body at some point within the following days. There are many leads that we are following up on. Lieutenant Miller of Houston Homicide Murder Squad said in an email sent to Missing, Lost, and Trafficked April 24th. Those leads have given us a certain laser focus that I just can't comment on at this time, Lieutenant Mueller said. Police are urging anyone with information regarding CN's whereabouts to contact the Houston Police Department Homicide Division, and I will present their number to you at this time, that department's number to you at this time. They're asking you to contact them directly at 713-308-3600 or Crime Stoppers at 713-222-TIPS. Again, I'll repeat, if you have information on CN's whereabouts, you're asked to contact the Houston Police Department Homicide Division at 713-308-3600 or Crime Stoppers at 713-222-TIPS. You may also email any information you have that you have elected not to share directly with police. Meaning, what do I mean by that? You have some information, credible information that could help police arrest CN tonight, like now. If you have that kind of information and you're just the type of person who you're just not going to contact the police under any circumstances, I've spoken with people fitting that category, but you rather pass it on to someone else that you may have some sort of trust in. Maybe that could be me. I hope so. If you're that person, okay, he needs to be apprehended as soon as possible. You do have some information regarding where he is, and I'm going to present his face on the screen for all to see. The email to Missing, Lost, and Trafficked is in the running ticker going across the stream right now. That email is Missing, Lost, and Trafficked at gmail.com. Missing, Lost, and Trafficked at gmail.com. That's Missing, Lost, and Trafficked at gmail.com. I want everyone to make sure that you, have the opportunity to really look at this man, his features, and I'll show you a photo that displays his full body in just a moment, what he looks like from head to toe, his physical makeup. I'm just going to give you a moment to look at his face. You may have seen him somewhere. You may have seen him around the date of Miss Johnson's disappearance, possibly on the 16th, the 17th, the 18th, or days after her disappearance, days after she was reported missing. Maybe you saw him somewhere, and maybe he was doing something that you thought could have been odd. This will help investigators. If you have that information, sharing that information with the Houston Police Department will certainly, I wholeheartedly believe, help them in their quest to figure out where Felicia Marie Johnson is. Okay. She's been missing nearly 2 months. And the Houston Police Department, they have identified this man as being a suspect in connection with her disappearance. He has been charged with murder, and he has been charged with tampering with evidence as well. He's been charged with murder and tampering with evidence. I'm going to, I know this is kind of a far shot in terms of, photos. This is a far off shot. It's not a close up image. Okay. But you can see what he looks like, and you can see his name, how it's spelled. You can see what he looks like from head to toe in this image that has been provided to the public by the Houston Police Department at this time. So I just want you to see that, give you a moment to, it may trigger some memory for you. Okay. Especially if you are somewhere in the state of Texas. So giving you a moment to, I want to make sure everyone can clearly see this man. As I previously stated, it's uncertain if she did go to that club, and no surveillance footage has been released to the public showing that she was in the club on the property, right, belonging to the Cover Girls Gentlemen Club in Houston, Texas. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. I just don't have that information. Okay. No footage has been released publicly to the public showing Miss Johnson was at that club. You should know that. Has not been released. There was surveillance footage that was handed over to the police by the club owners of CoverGirls, and their attorney, he discussed briefly the what he refers to as, their efforts, to what they have done to cooperate with this investigation. So he had a conversation with KHOU 11. You can just type in CoverGirl's attorney. It should come up on YouTube, and then you will be able to see that conversation he had with reporters over at KHOU 11. Anyone else have any questions at this time? I just want to make sure everyone knows who he is. He is still at large. I'm referring to him as CN. I did everything I could to try to find a pronunciation guide, some sort of app or something online generally that works, where I can just plug his name in and get the pronunciation. Couldn't. So instead of mispronouncing his name, I am referring to him as CN, and I'm displaying his name so you can see how his name is spelled. Okay. Okay. It's okay if you all have questions. If I can answer the questions or clarify something for you, I will do my very best. I do have another device at my disposal that I'm looking at right now. So I'll do my very best to answer questions while I'm live. I don't want this to be a really lengthy live stream. I did want to provide missing, lost, and trafficked followers and subscribers with this very important update. And it's important that you know that this man has not been arrested, and that the Houston Police Department, they are currently and actively looking for him. I will be doing my own investigation, background checks, trying to find out whatever information that I can find out about this man. I am just now today learning about this new development and learning that he has been arrested, not that he has not been arrested, excuse me, but that he has been charged with murder and tampering with evidence in connection with Felicia Marie Johnson's disappearance. Okay. You should also know that Felicia has not been found. Police believe that CN disposed of her somewhere days following her disappearance. Okay. Felicia's father, he has He's gone through a lot. Trying to figure out what happened to his daughter. A GoFundMe was started to assist Miss Johnson's father with staying out in Texas. He stated that he would not go back home until he found out what happened to his daughter. He's been in constant communication with detectives, investigators. He attempted to reach out to the owners of CoverGirl's Gentlemen's Club on several occasions. I've been in communication with a family member of Miss Johnson, and I mean, it has been a very frustrating and lengthy search. Family members, friends, and supporters have carried out for nearly 2 months trying to figure out what happened to Felicia Marie Johnson. Oh, the sound is going in and out again. I hope it comes back. Did that just start just now? Because I wouldn't know. People aren't telling me stuff. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Thank you for saying something. Let me know if it sounds better or if it's still going in and out. I've been live for about 22 minutes. So if I'm having a lot of technical difficulties, I'd rather just cut the live short if it's like really bad. So it's still going in and out. Okay. I will just show some photos Felicia and her family. Do a sound check in another 2 minutes. And if it's still choppy, I'm going to end the live. And you're saying this just started within the last 2 or 3 minutes? I just want to make sure it wasn't happening the whole time I've been talking. How long has this happened? The whole time? Or just within somebody let me know what's going on. Twinkle, are you there? Somebody let me know what's going on with the sound. Oh, you say you just got on. Okay. Twinkle, can you let me know if the sound's been going in and out for about 23 minutes now? I need to know that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, it's fine on Facebook. I'm live in more than one place. So thank you. Cause it's like I don't even want to talk if that's what's happening. And I hope that wasn't happening for most of my life, because I worked really hard to try to put a slideshow together and try to find the right photos. I really did. Kind of did this on the fly as soon as I found out. I really did. So I'm just going to show you all some more photos of her. She is still missing, and her family at this time. I just want to show you more photos of Felicia. Marie Johnson. I want you to know her whole name. I'm considering her as an endangered person because she has not been found, and we don't know really exactly what has happened to her. Law enforcement have not located her per se and given the family any confirmation that she has been found alive or deceased, but they do believe she is deceased. So you should know that. And I'm referring to the Houston Police Department. I just want to say to all of the women out there listening to me right now, I certainly hope there is some sort of miraculous discovery of this young woman. I hope that investigators have gotten it wrong somehow regarding her, I'll just say, alive status or unalive status. I certainly hope so. But I must say, there is a deep resentment a number of African American men, they've been carrying around day after day for Black women. Notice I said African American men. There's this hatred, there's this resentment, there's this need to get revenge based upon things that may have happened that have absolutely nothing to do with the Black women who are being targeted, who are being murdered in this country. It seems their number one enemy, it's not the man that they don't know, it's not the foreigner. And this may get under some people's skin tonight. That's fine. I'm speaking from my own personal experience. There's a hatred, there's a resentment. It's not coming from the other people. It's coming from the men that we are most familiar with. Black and brown men. And it's happening. Acts of hatred, acts of violence, that's what's happening. It's being carried out against Black women in this country every day, multiple times a day, by Black or brown men. I must say that. It needs to be said, and I'm going to say that. Yeah. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Several months ago, I reported on a story similar to this regarding another woman in Houston, Texas. Similar circumstances, pretty much the same circumstances. This happened just a few months ago. Another man, beautiful brown woman, African American woman, was murdered in an apartment rented out by a Black man. Yeah. And I went live and asked the world to help me find him. And people stepped up and they did. He's in prison right now. Here we are again. Here we are again. Similar circumstance, different woman, different man. Back in Houston, Texas, all over again. Yeah, here we are again. A different woman with a different name. Being preyed upon by another man of color. Yeah, let that sink in. Let that sink in. It's important, men of color, African American men in this country, figure out a healthier way to deal with that deep-rooted resentment and hatred they're carrying around every day. For us. For us. Yeah. That needs to be dealt with. That needs to be talked about. That needs to be explored. Yeah. Mental health is important. I lost count of how many women in this country. I've lost count. Can't keep up anymore. Black women, that is. Brown, beautiful women like the woman you see right before you, hugging the beautiful child. I've lost count on how many times I've read a news article or a story about a Black woman being preyed upon, targeted, tricked into a situation and fatally harmed by a black man. I've lost count. It's happening that often. I can't keep up with it anymore. It's happened a lot this year. And it was happening all last year and the year before that and the year before that. And I don't believe he'll be the last to do something like this. Unfortunately, he wasn't the first and he won't be the last black man to prey on another black woman. He won't be the last. And that's sickening to me, you know? We got to deal with this hatred, this gender war that we're in. Yeah, it must be. It must be taken to task. So Felicia Marie Johnson, she is still missing. She is still missing. I see this live stream has only been shared 2 times. What a pity. She's still missing. I'll share my own live stream. I'm going to share it to the Missing Lost and Trafficking Facebook group. I hope that you will share the live stream as well. Thank you so very much. So it is my hope that Felicia Johnson is found sooner rather than later. I thank you all so very much for taking time to, tune in to this update, to this live stream regarding the disappearance of Felicia Marie Johnson. I hope that you would share this live stream with a family member or friend. Share this live stream on your Facebook profiles. Share this YouTube live with someone you know. I hope that you would certainly reach out to the Houston Police Department if you've seen or believe you've seen this man. I hope that you would certainly do that. Or you have information regarding his whereabouts. I thank you all so very much for just being here. And I want you all to have a great night. Bye-bye.